Hello. I know y'all probably watching this thinking, where the hell she been at? And that is actually what this video is about. Give you a little information on what's been going on with me and why you haven't seen my face. I ain't been on Facebook. Definitely wasn't on Instagram. Just like social media scrolling. I'm in the house. Welcome to my humble abode slash tiny corner in my room. Honestly, this is where I do most of my chilling. Yeah, it's easy to record in the car because I'm on the go, but it's also very annoying to like stop and go, stop and record, and then I'm doing it on my phone because I'm on the go. So then I got to get all the videos off my phone and onto my iPad and then edit from there, and it's annoying. The way I'll set this video up, you know, it'll kind of be, I think I'm gonna call it girl talk, deep conditioning and depression. Because what's going to happen is I have to deep condition my hair because it's long overdue. So that's why I'm looking so raggedy and crazy right now. So I'm actually going to hop in the shower really quick, wash my hair, and when I come back, it's going to be parted in 4 sections, and we're going to chat while I'm throwing my deep conditioner in. Sis is thirsty. So yeah, let me go and hop in the shower really quick, wash my hair, and I'm gonna see you guys. It's probably gonna take me like a good half an hour, but I'm gonna try to cut it down. I'm gonna try to cut it down. Wish me luck.
3 hours later.
Whew. Okay, I'm back. Definitely took longer than 20 minutes, but you know, kind of had to wash my behind too. Tip for my naturalistas, if you didn't know, drying your hair with a t-shirt, it's much more gentle than using a towel. I shouldn't be drying my hair this much, but it was really dripping. Alright guys, I got my handy dandy tools, a plastic bag, because you know, black people find any use for a plastic bag, you know, besides taking stuff from the store. Got my comb. Got my, it would be nice if you held it in the right direction. Deep conditioner. I really do swear by Shea Moisture products. I really do. It works for me. It works for my hair. My hair loves it. My hair needs substance. My hair needs something that's hefty. Like, it could be light, but it needs some stuff in it. And particularly for this hair mask, it's very thick, and that is needed for my hair because my hair soaks up everything, and sis will get dry real easy, real fast. So swear by this stuff. If you're wondering why I have I know you probably can't see it well, but if you're wondering why I have a random picture of a kitchen on my computer, oh my god, I'm just getting water everywhere. It's because I'm just like really looking forward to buying my first home, and I'm trying to put that work in to get it done. I'm sure you guys are also wondering what is going on with my hair. Yes, I dyed it. I dyed it. This is not the color. This is not the final stage. It's not its final form. It's going to be a very cute dark roots, chocolate brown to blonde type ombre thing. But I chose to go the progressive route where I don't fry my hair all in one sitting, because that would be not cool as a naturalista. I will look like a wet dog. And I'm just going to lighten it ever so slowly. I can't get the damn thing. So let's get started. Where have I been? Nothing really changed as far as schedule and regimen. I've just been, you know, doing my usual, going to work, taking care of the fam, you know, wife and mom duties, the usual. One thing that makes depression such a finicky topic for the people listening and the people talking about it is a lot of people can't really express themselves, and then a lot of people can't really understand that depression comes in many forms and it's not as cookie cutter as some people would like for it to be. Like I told a group of friends of mine the other day, I have 3 friends that I have a group chat with, and we literally talk about any and everything, and it's one of the most hilarious yet so supportive things that you will ever see. Um, I'm really thankful for my girls. But one thing that I said to them, which it was kind of like off the tip of my tongue, like, on the fly, but it had so much truth. I'm just one of the most functional depressed people that you will ever probably come across. Or I take that back. It's probably many, many people like me. And, when I say depressed, I don't mean like, oh, the sky is black, everything's black, my clothes are black, my lipsticks are black, the room is black, I'm just gonna soak in a corner in my misery and die. No, it's not commercial. It's not what you think it would be. It's not excessive crying. It's not eating, which are a lot of things that people associate depression to be, which is still correct. It's common, but that's not me. And it's funny because it wasn't until I was reading something, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, it was like a light bulb went off. I love my children. I'm happy with my children. I'm happy with my husband. Yes, my life has ups and downs. Yes, my marriage has ups and downs. And it's a typical in terms of, sometimes just bumping heads, not seeing eye to eye. It's not anything necessarily out of the order. There's not anything too extreme going on in my life that it has just sent me into darkness and I can't function. I can't, get out of it. And I just really thought, because for the most part things were going good and I was in a good space, that, my chances of meeting depression again were very slim. But I had to, check myself, and I had to remind myself, like, sis, you are a very functional, person. And saying all of that to say, what depression looks like for me is I will talk to you, I will laugh, I will crack jokes, I will go about my day, I'll cook, I'll wash clothes, I'll go grocery shopping, I'll run errands, I'll take care of my family, do all of these things. But when I'm doing these things, I'm pretty much on autopilot. I'm really on autopilot. My mind is on 1,000,000. My body's going. I'll be at work. I'm functioning. I'm getting stuff done. But it's really passive. It's not really active at all. And then I'll find myself in moments where I'm just like sitting on social media scrolling, and I'm really not paying attention to whatever it is I'm looking at. I'm just scrolling. And my mind is really just somewhere else. I'll have a whole schedule and, a whole list of things that I want to do, and like just end up leaning on the bed, and then leaning on the bed goes to bent over the bed, and then bent over the bed goes to laying down, and then I'm scrolling again. And sometimes I just really can't move from that bed, or I can't move from the couch. And I just had to remind myself, like, sis, this is a form of depression, and what my thoughts are saying, what my thoughts are doing is I'm kind of, I guess you could say it's a form of, soaking in my misery. Like, I'm thinking about where my life is, and, even though it's in a good space, it's, I've been in some worse spaces, it's not where I want it to be. I'm not making the money I want to make. I'm not doing what I want to do in my life. Truth be told, I hate my job. It is no shade, it's just fact, because I don't want a job. I want a career, and it's a career that I create. So we're talking entrepreneurism. I want to do what I love for a living. I want to make a substantial amount of money to buy my dream house, custom design it. We're supposed to be getting this money together so we can move across country and go to Arizona. And right now, the way our finances are, it's just enough to take care of what we have right now. So it's like, damn, where is this extra income coming from? There's so many things that are kind of on my plate that will hold me back in a sense and just upset me. And that was cold. And like I said, I'll just find myself in a place of, well, this isn't right, and this isn't right, and it's not what I want. It's not what I want, and my life isn't what I want it to be, and I want more, and I shouldn't have wasted my time doing this X amount of years ago, and I should have been doing that, and shoulda, coulda, woulda. Should've, could've, would've. I want. And because I feel like I'm so far behind in my life, it's like I'm getting frustrated because I have these thoughts and these dreams, and it's like, I want it now, but it's not happening now. So now I'm looking for instant gratification, and the more I think about these things and the more I sit in it and sulk in it, the more I drive myself into a hole. I'm still showering, I'm still eating, I'm still going to work, I'm still taking care of my kids, I'm still cooking dinner, I'm still buying groceries, I'm still washing clothes, but I'm falling deeper, deeper, and deeper into this hole. It's just a hole that I'm able to function out of. What that means for me, social media wise, is it's a negative turn of events. It's a vicious cycle, because then I look at Composed Craziness. I'm starting this platform. I'm trying to create this brand. I'm trying to get this thing off the ground. I'm trying to inspire people. I'm trying to motivate people, but I'm not always inspired, and I'm not always motivated. Sometimes I don't always believe in myself. I am good for that. Oh, child, I am good for that. I am good for talking myself out of doing something. I'm good for talking myself off the ledge. And when I mean off the ledge, I mean like off the ledge where I can jump into something amazing. Off the ledge, back down the trail, back into the car, and back home. Like, that's how far back I would talk myself out of something. And it's a really nasty, real nasty, bad habit. And I'm trying to kick it, but it's really hard. And then when I get into those spaces where I just think about what my life is not what I want it to be, I'm just blank. I'm moving. It's kind of like, I have this saying for people who I feel like aren't all there, or is something wrong with them up top. I'll say, the lights is on, but nobody's home. And it kind of applies to me when I get into this stage of depression, because it's like I'm moving, I'm getting shit done, but I'm mentally, I'm gone. The lights on, but nobody's home. I know I'm not the only person to experience this, and I know I'm not the only person to go through this. I know this is very familiar to someone. This is one of the reasons why I've decided to sit down and share with you guys, because somebody might need someone, someone or something to relate to, And I also feel like the explanation is, okay, sis, we was, on the flow. Where you go? Where you disappear to? And that's another thing that kills me too, because I get into like this sunken place, and I'm watching like my peers post, and they're getting such great responses on their posts, and they're going to events, and they're having experiences, and they're getting sponsorships, and they're on the move, and everything's so amazing. I'm like, why can't that be me? Sis, you're in a hole. You're not putting no work in. You're not doing nothing. It can't be you, because nobody sees you. Nobody knows you right now. So like I said, it's been about like 2 weeks or so since I posted a video or done a blog post, and when I get into these phases and these stages, it just makes it hard to do something, because I'm so uninspired, and I'm so unmotivated, and I'm so just in disbelief with myself, and it's not helping. It's not helping at all, and it's not fair to you guys, the people who look forward to my videos or look forward to my posts, blog posts, Instagram posts, tweets, whatever, it's not fair to you guys, and it's not fair to myself, because I started something, and I'm constantly, like I said, talking myself off the ledge, talking myself back off the ledge, back down the trail, back into the car, back into the house, back into this corner, back into this hole. And it's not fair, because I want so much out of life. I deserve so much more, but I'm not allowing myself to work for it and to get there. And I know, well, I've said there are many types of depression. There's many signs of it. There's many experiences from it. And everybody has different coping mechanisms. And everyone has different experiences. You know, some people have to medicate. Some people just like to ride it out. And I know for some people it's worse for others. But in my opinion, I think the one thing that'll be the same across the board is the fight. You know, I've seen the face of depression many times throughout my life, and in different ways. And if there's one thing that I can say, whether it's just be from my experience or applying to someone else, it's you have to fight. You have to fight, because just letting it ride is not really going to get you anywhere, because you'll get to happy moments and you'll get to better days, but it won't be a constant thing, and you'll be constantly living in fear, constantly living in sorrow, constantly living in depression, and it's really not fair to you and your progression in life. So you have to be willing to fight. You have to be willing to dig yourself out of that hole, you know? You gotta be willing to say, I'm not doing this today. No, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get out of bed. I'm going to shower. I'm going to find me something cute to wear. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go get ice cream. I'm going to browse the mall. I'm going to go see a movie. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to clean my car. I'm going to walk around Walmart. You have to fight. You have to get yourself out of that space. And you can't, and I don't mean any harm when I say this, but you can't depend on the medicine to do it for you, and you can't depend on the depression to do it for you, because depression is trying to keep you here, down here, but you want to bring yourself up here and up here. You understand? It's something that you have to be willing to do, and I know personally for a fact it's easier said than done initially, but the more you start to fight and the more you start to do, the better it's really going to be for you. So, from my experience, as anyone who has been depressed, we all know that, you know, it's a very tough space to be in. The first time you fight, the first time you spark a battle, and you decide to go head to head and toe to toe with depression, you know, it's going to be the hardest struggle, generally, because you've never done it before. You've never dug yourself out of this hole before, and you don't know what the end results are. You don't know what the fight is going to take to win. You don't know what to expect. You know, you really don't know what the ups and downs feel, because the brain is a very tricky thing. So you might think you're happy, you might think you're out the woods one moment, and then the next moment is like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, it's not over. This is not it. But one thing that I can definitely say is the end product is always the prize. You know, you want to fight, you want to keep in mind what you're fighting for and what you're fighting towards, that happiness that you're trying to get to, you know. Let me put it like this. we've established that you have to fight to get out, right? So that's a given. You gotta fight, right? And once you're out, here's the kicker, the one thing a lot of people don't mention. You have to fight to stay out as well. You know, when things don't go right in life, or you find yourself in the midst of some setbacks, some setups, some disappointments, you have to know yourself well enough to know, like, I'm slipping. I'm falling back. I'm slipping back into that space. And you have to immediately pull yourself. You got to pull yourself together immediately. So that could be just call somebody randomly, spark up a conversation, get up and move, start vacuuming. You have to get your mind off of that fast track to depression, because if you let it take over, you're back in the hardest part of the fight again. And for me, for the past few weeks, you know, I'm sitting in it, and I really had to check myself, like, yo, sis, you're not doing nothing. You claim you want so much out of life, and you claim you want to get so far, but you can't get far sulking. You can't get far sitting. You got stuff to do. You got work to do. Get it together. I got blog posts I'm sitting on. I got videos I'm sitting on. One of the videos is from freaking Labor Day, guys. Labor Day. It is September 2nd? Labor Day, bro. Like, I don't even want to post a video anymore. Like, the time has come and gone. And these moments right here is one of the reasons why I started my channel, because I know I'm not perfect. And I know I go through a lot of ups and downs, and I know I'm constantly being hit by something, and I'm constantly being overthrown by something, and I'm constantly being put in a position of adversity, or in a position of restraint. Like, I'm always in the midst of something, but I don't necessarily mind it, because it's always a lesson for me, and it's always, it molds me as a person, and it makes me better, you know? You know, typically people who come on these come on YouTube platforms and other social media platforms, and they're lifestyle based, they don't always explain their absence, like why they've been gone, what happened, where did they disappear to, what took so long, how are they feeling, what are they going through at the moment. They don't share those intimate parts that let people, the intimate parts that remind people they're human. They don't really share those. And I'm not condemning anybody for that. I'm not bashing anyone for that, because I know it's something that takes strength, it's something that takes courage, and some people really aren't comfortable like that, and that's okay. But I think that's one of the things that desensitizes people, viewers, or fans, or you guys in a sense, because it gives this overwhelming effect that everyone has it together, and everyone is, having great times, and ups and downs aren't real, and people speak of them, but they really don't shed a light on them. And I understand some people aren't comfortable with it, and that's okay, but this is literally the premise of Composed Craziness. See, I'm gonna shed a little light on where the name came from, because I don't think I've ever talked about it on video. Last year, 2017, was a really tough year for me. I had lost my job, and I was home literally all year. I was out of work at like January 17th or 20th or something crazy like that. And I didn't go back to work until this year, January 16th of 2018, So I spent the whole year at home trying to get myself together and figure out what is life. I had some temp jobs in between, or minor work, but that was like months later. It was still pretty much a whole year of being unemployed. So, I was really trying to figure out, who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? what's supposed to come from this? What does this lesson mean? Throughout that time frame is when Composed Craziness came about, and it wasn't necessarily the name itself, but it was the idea of putting myself out on platforms for people to absorb my energy. And I know you guys don't know me, some of you don't know me personally, but one thing that I've been told by my friends is pretty much I have an infectious energy. I make them laugh, I make them smile. You know, it's always a good time. It's always good vibes when I'm around. When they're going through things and, you know, they need an ear to vent to, and they need someone that's going to talk them off the ledge, the bad ledge. You know, someone that's going to talk some sense into them. Someone that's going to let them know that everything's going to be okay. Someone that's going to inspire them, motivate them. I'm that person. And one of my friends told me that I need to do something with that. So that's when I thought of, you know, Composed Craziness. Again, the concept. And I'm sitting on it and I'm doing research and I'm thinking, I'm like, do I really want to do this? YouTube is so saturated. Nobody's going to pay attention. Who cares? I don't have the right equipment. My apartment is so tiny. Where am I going to film? What do I do? Kind of like, I'm just asking myself all these questions, all these self-doubting questions. But I still decided to go forth with it. But I couldn't think of a name. So one day I was sitting on the couch and my husband was doing something. Fiance at the time, but my husband was doing something. And I said, babe. And he said, yes. And I said, if you could think of 2 words to describe me, what would it be? And he said, he paused and he thought about it. And he said, Composed Craziness. And I was just like, my initial thought was, what? But I never asked what that meant and why he chose it, because it immediately sat with me. It immediately clicked. It immediately made sense. My interpretation of it was, I have it together, for the most part, sometimes, but there's always something going on. There's always something going wrong. It's like I'm put together, but I'm wildfire. I'm unexpected. I'm crazy. I'm all over the place, but I'm still composed enough to be efficient and a helping hand for friends and a shoulder to cry on, and a listening ear. And you know, it just started unraveling in my mind. I'm like, that's freaking dope. At that moment, I just took it and I ran with it. It was such a liberating moment because I finally felt like I knew what my purpose was, and I finally felt like I knew what I was here for. But I didn't prepare myself for the downfall of just, you know, not being completely, you know, educated on the business, or not being completely prepared. Like I said, in the midst of this, I'm at home without work. So that was a different battle within itself, because my husband was handling all the bills, which, you know, he did phenomenally. And it's funny because I wanted to go back to work for financial reasons, but I couldn't say that I just like wanted to go back to work. I needed to go back to work. And you know, I can't really remember what put me in the deepest pit of this depression, but I think I just, once again, talking myself off of the edge, talking myself out of something amazing. I really quit on Composed Craziness, because I don't know why in my mind I thought everything was going to be so instant and I was going to get this great feedback and it was going to pick up so much traction and everyone was going to love it. It did not. It did not do that at all. Saying all of this to say, I wanted to come here and share this because I'm priding myself on being candid, and I'm priding myself on being open, and I'm self-proclaiming to show the ups and the downs of my life, and to show people that it's okay to not have it together, to show people that it's okay to not be perfect, to show people that it's okay to go with rough times, and it's okay to not have it all together right now, and it's okay to understand or acknowledge your flaws, but you got to be able to, better yourself and work towards greatness and work towards a greater you. And I'm trying to push this message, and I'm trying to paint this picture, but I have to live in that, and I have to work in that. And I could have easily said, oh, I'm just going to come back and act like nothing is happening, because nobody wants to talk about depression, and don't nobody want to hear that. But the problem is, not enough people are talking about it, or not the right people are talking about it. And when I say not the right people, I mean the people who show their flaws undoubtedly, like people who are on a scale of normality, before the hundreds of thousands of millions of followers, before some status of glam, before some status of influencer, like normal, regular people. You see it here, you see it there, but there needs to be more of a topic, there needs to be more of a conversation, and there needs to be people acknowledging the fact that depression comes in many different forms and looks many different ways, and it's not cookie cutter. Depression isn't cookie cutter, and the solution to it is not cookie cutter. There has to be an open form. It really does. You have to be able to look at people who are peers of yours, whether you know them personally or not, and say, you know what, she said such and such, and that's right, and she explained it this way, and this is exactly how I'm going through it. You gotta create some sort of normality about it. There has to be a sisterhood or just a humanhood about it in general, because it's never going to go away. It's always going to be a thing. But I think if people have the courage and the strength to fight and to stand up and to acknowledge themselves and to acknowledge it, they'll have a greater chance of succeeding and getting out of that rut and getting out of that tough place. And I know I'll probably see the face of depression again in one of its forms, but one thing I can honestly say is I'm not afraid of it anymore, because I've developed that courage and I've developed that strength and I've developed that fight. So it's like, okay, since I see you lurking around the corner of depression, I see you over there. You gonna catch these hands if you come this way though. And that's what I chalk it up to. I learned how to take your life by the reins. You gotta learn how to take control of it, because this life is yours. You only get one of them, and you have to be the best you, and you have to live in the best way that you can. And honestly, living your best life, there's no room for depression at all. None. Alright, y'all, it is 6:53. Yeah, I gotta go. The kids need to get prepared for the week. I need to check on this food. Start a new work schedule tomorrow, so now I work at 8:30. Yay. Still waiting for the day where I won't have to work at all though, and I work for myself. But thanks for listening to me, guys. Thanks for hearing me out. And if this video applied to you, if you resonated with it in any type of way, I just want you to know to fight, to keep pushing, to keep going. And if you need someone to talk to, if you need someone that's going to understand it, slide in my DMs, okay? YouTube DMs, Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs, Facebook DMs, all that. I'll talk to you, I'll walk you through it, and I'll be really a source of light for you, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I love to do. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up my Sunday. Love you. Talk to you later.